So, today, I thought for something completely different, we could look at books. Over the years, I've gathered about 25 different books on firewood, and I thought this might be interesting because they make excellent presents. We've got Christmas, birthdays, a housewarming present, pun intended, or just for yourself. Anyway, sometimes when you look online at books, it's difficult to tell what they actually look like. So I thought if we whiz through the books I've got, look at my favourites, I don't know, just helpful for Christmas, I hope. Perhaps predictably, let's start with my book. That was the first edition, particularly good with open fires. In the second edition, I became aware of top-down fires, and also my house doesn't have an open fire anymore. So that book deals with top-down fires, and it's got bits of data in the back, and it was all polished up. Anyway, that's mine. In the happy event that you have French friends or speak French, that was my book translated into French. And I love this. That's my book translated into Swedish. So, anyway, some choice there. Second book definitely would be Norwegian Wood. A lovely book, beautifully made, well produced. A blend of personal stories and woodcraft and firecraft. I learned a lot from this book. Yeah, for instance, when you're splitting wood, if you double the speed, you quadruple the impact. I didn't know that before. Anyway, that would make a good present. Next one, really, this is a lovely little book. Lots of practical, technical stuff about wood stoves. A nice little book to have. And next, that one's a bit different. The guy's a chimney sweep, and so he gives lots of information about chimneys and fires and stoves, but it's always good to have a chimney sweep's opinion because they're the people who deal with all the problems when it goes wrong. This is another one I really like. I've marked the page in there for some reason, but anyway, it's a very good account, lots of factual information, and a lot of his personal opinion, which is great. I would rather have something where someone is telling me their story than something that's just cold and technical. Right, next, here's a lively one. This is an American book, very, very colourful, loads and loads of pictures and diagrams. It's significantly, as it suggests, lumberjack. Significantly, it's about felling and splitting and sort of the first half of firelighting, really. There is some on woodsheds and burning, but if someone there, anyway, if someone you know is going to cut wood, that's a great book to have. If you like the technical, that's a really good technical book. Nice little one, lots of information in there. And then I brought this one in, just into one of my favourites. This is a strange little book, published in 1917, I think. The man just opens by saying he inherited a manor in England. It was full of wood fires, he'd never dealt with it before, so I think he became obsessed, and he perfected his firecraft and then wrote this book about it. It's got the longest title, I can find it, of any book I've ever read. My copy, there we are. I hope you can read that. Huge title. But what I loved is he very quickly came up with two essentials. Put the logs on your stove or on your fire in pairs, and don't be too quick to clean out the wood ash. Anyway, if you have open fires, particularly if you have big old open fires, that, if you can get hold of a copy, is a lovely little book. And we'll speed through a few others now. That's a lovely little technical book. as it suggests, home heating. I quite like that one. Again, packed with good information. I find books are a bit like people in that you can learn something from anyone, even the smallest book you can learn from. So yeah, give everyone time. That one's a fair bit older, sorry I was a bit quick there. This is older, but really well written, really good guy. Yeah, 1978 that one. But I like it, there's a lot of good sense in that book. That little book, very, very big on wood burners. It lists, it almost is a catalogue of wood burning stoves. But if that's what you're looking for, that little book might be right for you. The Complete Book of Fire. Yeah, mostly designed for outdoors making fire, but and last in that group is this little book. Yeah, nice little book, would make a good present. It's quite big on safety. It almost everything she touches, she first goes on about the safety of it, which I guess with fire is really important. Okay, if the person you're buying this book for is interested in camping, I've got, I mean obviously there are hundreds of books, but that is an absolute cracker. Written in the 1940s, I think. Let's just have a look. 45. Written in 1945. It is just such a light-hearted, wonderful, huge tome. Pardon me. Anyway, it's wonderful. It's Wildwood Wisdom, all about camping. Lots and lots of good stuff in there. No, I love that book. And similarly, that one. Again, huge amount of information. Camping and Woodcraft. When was this written? It's an old one. It's something similar. 1917. So, funny enough, the same year as the man who wrote about his wood fires in an English manner. Anyway, those two, you've got loads of modern stuff on camping, but I think it's really interesting to go back to how they did it in the old days with fairly basic equipment. Now, on to the Anthropology. There aren't many books that I read cover to cover, but I read this one cover to cover. It's absolutely brilliant. It leads us through how humans evolve with fire, and for anyone interested in that, this is a fascinating read. It turns out just about everything about us, our language, our bodies, our culture, everything evolved in humans because we mastered fire. Very, very interesting. And I've got another one which I haven't hardly started reading, but I think if you're interested in that subject, this lady is a professor somewhere, as is the other chap, I think. So two very, very erudite people writing about fire, our evolution and anthropology. Okay, lastly, cooking. I'll just grab two actually. That one I like, very much focused on outdoors, but a lovely book. Lots of good ideas and lots of good recipes in that one. And the other one, because I've got, well, I used to cook on one of these. When I lived in the cottage before this one, I cooked most of my food on just the top of one of these, because with two trivets, you got 4 different temperatures. Anyway, now I've got a range, I've been using this one, because the joy about cooking on a wood fire is that you can have something cooking for hours and hours. I made a stew the other day that I cooked for 11 hours. You wouldn't do that on gas or electric, but once your stove is going, the heat is free, so slow cooking, why not? Anyway, I love slow cooked food. Okay, that was a real romp through those books, quicker than I expected, but I just wanted you to see what I've got and a quick look at them, see what they're like, and hopefully if you were thinking of buying a present for yourself or someone you love. I hope you found that helpful. I hope you find something good. Cheers.